tried to silence it. I'm sorry, but they tried to silence it a few hours ago on the floor of the Assembly.
They've tried to silence us.
We need to dispel the myth that this bill is about balancing the state budget. This bill has almost nothing to do with balancing our state budget. It's merely a guide to push through one of the most radical agendas on reduction and loss of worker rights that we've seen in 15 years.
What exactly happened today on the floor of the Assembly?
We came in this morning, we wanted to introduce our constituents, and they shut us down. They walked off. They didn't want to hear from over 50,000 Wisconsin citizens who have spoken out over the last week against Governor Walker taking our rights.
In their haste to do business without us on the floor before the designated time to begin, they actually passed my amendment by mistake.
But what they're trying to do is shut down democracy and shut down the voices.
Okay, yeah.
The fact that someone is in the minority, that we all represent the minority party in the state of Wisconsin, doesn't mean that we don't have a voice. And they're trying to silence the
Ken wanted to bring the tyranny of the majority right here to Wisconsin.
It is.
This is unfortunate.
This is a tense, difficult time for everyone in leadership in Wisconsin. Today, we asked our governor to show some leadership and help bring an end to this resolution. Not only did he flatly refuse to meet with us while he was in the Capitol, but he flatly refused to even discuss the offers that have been made by organized labor to help bring an end to this impasse.
What can you say about 14 counterparts in the Senate who are in Illinois?
I'm so glad they're slowing this process down.
First of all, we don't know that they're in Illinois.
We don't know where they are.
Yeah,
But
they haven't been texting us or twittering or any of that stuff. But what they've done is slow down this process, because we've seen the governor introduce this bill a week ago, and again give it to special interests and big business before he shared it with the Democrats. It's 140 pages of a lot of junk and nonsense that will cost us in Medicaid, in providing services to people across the state of Wisconsin, and it's going to cost us at least $47 million in federal funds. It'll shut down transit. He's rushing this through, and by their not showing up, they've slowed the process down. It's allowing us to get our message around the state as to the incredible nonsense that's buried in this.
Their very brave decision to leave Wisconsin is them working as hard for their citizens as we were today.
Right. We all have to work together to make sure that the voices of Wisconsinites are heard. That's the pattern that we see here, is Republicans trying to silence the voices of everyday Wisconsinites that are just trying to make a living. And the Senate was able to help those voices be heard by leaving the state, drawing national media attention. We were there able to help those voices be heard by being here and holding public hearings long after the Republicans shut them down, all through the night, on Wednesday and Thursday and tonight. All through the night, we continue to take public testimony from thousands of Wisconsinites that simply want their voices to be heard on this.
I'm going to head back there at 4 o'clock this morning to listen to more voices and more stories. We're going to keep listening to what they have to say, because Republicans shut them down, I think it was Wednesday morning at 3 a.m. They said enough.
Growing up in Wisconsin as children, what are you taught about organized labor? What does it mean for the Wisconsin employee?
My dad was a sheet metal worker, and at times when businesses were slow and we weren't sure where the next bill was going to come from, we count on the union to keep us alive and to keep us supported. So the unions have been a part of my life forever. Daughter of a sheet metal worker, and it's just part of the collective voice in the state of Wisconsin that people have a right to be able to talk about the conditions in which they work, and when the situation gets tough, how to keep those families alive, how to keep food on the table, how to keep mortgage paid, and how to make sure that we have a middle class life that so many of us aspire.
I was a union organizer, union vice president. I've never seen an attempt to take away families and workers' rights as bold as Governor Walker's effort to destroy our rights. It's just unbelievable.
You know, a gentleman on Wednesday night at 2 a.m. said to me, what kind of a democracy do we have if we do not have democracy in the workplace?
We've got one more representative here.
What's your name?
Louis Malevsky from Stevens Point. This was people power, people in action, and actually people taking control of their government and letting them know what is wrong with it. It was an amazing day. It really was an amazing day.
One more question. I know you're very cold. I appreciate you coming out. Are Republican governors elsewhere more likely to imitate Scott Walker?
Absolutely.
Or is labor elsewhere more likely to emulate what's happening here?
I don't know, what we just heard is that the people in the state of Wisconsin are supporting the union over Scott Walker. He is losing support in the state of Wisconsin. And he talks about being open for business. Well, we're going to lose business when he's turning this into a state that doesn't give people basic rights. Who wants to move to a state? Who wants to bring their business to a state that denies the rights of the people in the state of Wisconsin?
He's going to cut and gut education in Wisconsin, and nobody wants to bring their business to a state that does not educate its citizens.
We got Nick Milroy here from
And just today, the National Treasurers Association said they're not holding their national convention in Milwaukee because of what they're seeing in this state out of Governor Walker and his state treasurer.
Is the possibility of an Arizona-like boycott, is it on the table? Have you heard any talk of that?
I don't think so, and here's why. Because when faced with unbelievable adversity, the Republicans control our governorship, our state senate, and our state assembly. And 1 week ago, when this bill was dropped on us, after, by the way, Club for Growth had started running ads on it, we hadn't even seen the bill. We saw from something that was inevitable that it would pass, we saw a shift because of the people of the state of Wisconsin. They rose up, they said, we will not be silenced, we want our voices to be heard, we will not be silenced, and because of that, that's how we draw our strength, and I think that will happen nationwide.
We can kill this bill.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's freezing out here.
Yeah.
So who's that?
You guys, thank you.